Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of TFG Radio. As you can see and hear, Adam here. Once again, I'm joined by John
Hello.
and Danny,
Hey.
and no Tom. He's 1 for 2, or 1 for 0, 0 for 1. I don't remember.
Yeah, but this is the first show of the year, right?
Well, it's the first show with all of us, so
Right.
because I did one real quick as an update,
That doesn't count.
and I put it as an episode.
Doesn't count.
We were supposed to do an episode.
No.
It counts. Still counts as one. So obviously this is a post LVO recap. All three of us were there, which is probably best of why Tom's not here, because Tom was at home. So Danny and I went as judges, as we do every year, because at this point it's a contest on who can last the longest.
Yep, pure spite.
I feel my odds are very good. Just from talking to Danny, especially after this weekend.
Yeah, this was my flu game of LVO.
Yeah, but also, like, having had a tooth out and an infection did not help.
No.
You won't have that next year, hopefully.
Yeah, well, you never know.
Well, Derek will probably still be there, so he's got to
Yeah,
watch
well,
his
never, ever, ever take anything he offers me to eat or drink again. Yep.
You know what they say, beware the gifts from Greeks.
Wait, who?
I don't know if Derek is Greek or not.
Oh, okay.
He looks it,
Like, does he?
Kind of swarthy, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just because he wants to be a pirate.
So Danny and I, like I mentioned once again, we were judges. John
Yes.
got his first time to play.
No. Second. I played in the very first LVO.
Well, first time to play in a while.
I've played, in a long, long time. Yes, at LVO. Yeah. That
since-
first LVO, I took a actual yellow Iandan Eldar army.
And
Like
next
actual
year
that?
you're going to bring
Like
another
actually
Eldar.
painted Iandan. No, there will be like 18 FAQs between now and then because it's going to be so broken.
Yeah, that's.
It'll be unplayable by next LVO.
There may be something.
Yeah. I won more games at that first LVO than I won at this one.
No,
So, John, why don't you tell us what you took?
I took a Dark Angels list that was very slow because I found most of my games. I was like, man, I could win this game if I could move about like 8 more inches over the course of the game than I actually did. I took it was Azrael and a lieutenant, and the lieutenant with the combi weapon, who's like basically like the action monkey, and captain in Terminator armor. And I took 3 5-man squads of Deathwing Knights, which are slow, but also like really hard to kill and hit like a ton of bricks. And then I took 2 Ballista Treads, which are like the only thing I had to buy for the list. Because between... Yeah, those I think... No, I also bought an Azrael. I had to buy an Azrael too. Which is also not a big deal because the new model's awesome, so why not? So 2 Ballista Treads, which were cool. Those were awesome. I like those a lot. 2 squads of scouts, 2 squads of intercessors, and then a 10-man Hellblaster squad, which cooked. That was good. So that's what I took.
Do you want to go through each game, or do you just want to go through each game?
I do not want to relive each game.
Okay.
But
In that
I will
case, we'll go through the day again. Danny and I,
Sure.
for the first time in a while, went in separate vehicles.
Yep.
We actually left pretty early. We stopped really quick to get something to eat, use the restroom, and that was it. And we got there like around noon, I think, or a little before 1. So I don't think the GW had the. GW kept with their tradition of releasing something right before LVO. This time they decided to do it the day before. And
I understand why you guys aren't using it. I understand why you don't use it. It's not like it's a big deal, man. Just use it.
There were concerns about Necrons because the Necron Christmas detachment, Grotmas detachment is very good, and there were a couple corrections in the FAQ that came out, as well as a few other stuff for some of the other armies. So people were expecting Necrons to just dominate the way like Eldar did that one year, where it was like the top 6 of the armies were Eldar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was a fun year.
I think that was what, 7th edition?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. That didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, Necrons made up a good chunk of the field, especially
they just
in like
dominate.
round 5, round 6. There were a lot of Necrons in the hunt, but they got weeded out.
The problem with it is people will build to beat it. And the best players will tech to beat it, you know? So, like, yeah, it's really good, but if you know you're probably going to face it at some point, you have to be able to beat it. You know?
Right.
So, I don't know. With Eldar, it was harder because that was just so immensely broken. Like,
well, there's so many.
To beat Eldar, you had to beat Eldar.
Yeah, there's so many moving parts that you correct one thing and maybe another part becomes OP, or they don't correct the other thing that's OP.
Yeah.
So it's like minor fixes over the course of the edition to the point where when it's finally fixed, we're on to a new edition and a new index. So hopefully, when they transition to 11th edition, there won't be any new indexes.
11th edition. 11th edition playoffs.
So John, give us an overview of your day in general. How was day 1 for you?
Well, my day 1 was driving in, and it was fantastic.
Don't sidestep the actual question, John. How was your Friday?
So round 1, I played Thousand Suns. I got paired into Thousand Suns round 1, which is definitely not what I was looking for. You know, to win an event, you had to be able to dodge a bad matchup or two here or there, and I definitely got the bad matchup first because that many mortal wounds is hard to deal with. The game still went the full 5 turns.
Mm-hmm.
And until about turn 3.5, I was definitely in it. And then it just became too much for me to handle. It became too much to
And
do.
it was just a typical list with Magnus, Vortex Beast.
No Magnus.
No Magnus.
Oh, no, he had Magnus. Did he have Magnus? If he had Magnus, I killed him very quickly.
Oh, okay.
Just like my game against World Eaters, I killed Angron very, very quickly.
Oh, right.
I was like, I'm not letting that guy live. Then my round 2 was my only win of the tournament.
Oh, spoilers.
And that was against Necrons. And that was a delightful game. And
was it against the Grotmas list?
No. It was Cetan and Void Dragon and...
Oh, the typical...
Yeah.
Necrons.
Yeah. Wraiths. Yeah. So that one I won. And then round 3, I played the Grotmas detachment for Chaos Knights, where he can recycle his cultists into his guns.
Right. I mean, the list you should have taken.
Yeah. No, because I don't have cultists. I'm going to do that. It's nonsense. Fuck
You
that.
can borrow my cultist.
No. Dumb.
All right.
I mean, I should have, yes, but I'm tired of playing Knights. So for anybody who hasn't listened to the show recently, I played Knights of one fashion or the other for 2 editions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I took a short break here and there to play other things, but mostly it's been Knights, Imperial Knights or Chaos Knights for 2 editions, and I'm tired of it. So I was like...
So here come the elves.
So here come the losses. And that's fine. It's okay. You know, things happen. It's cool. So that list was interesting, and I didn't quite know what it did. And
The
he was
list?
well with the cultists.
Oh.
I wasn't quite up on exactly what that did, and so the cultists were able to screen my army out pretty easily, so I couldn't really get to him fast enough. So by the time the Deathwing Knights were able to get into his lines with their 4-up anti-vehicle, they were whittled down a lot because I had to get through cultists first, and I actually ended up having to make a play where I had a play to win, which was get the Hellblaster unit. So if you don't know how this list works, Azrael and the Lieutenant go with the Hellblasters, and the Hellblasters have magical 6s. So 6 to hit is sustained 1 and lethal hit, which is nice, very nice. And then, it basically vaporized whatever unit I shot it at. It didn't matter. Vehicle, like whatever. It's going to get vaporized because I oath of moment it. If I'm smart, I put the priority objective from the lieutenant with combi weapon on the center objective, or I put it on their natural expansion objective. And then when I roll those guys out, I have full rerolled hits against that unit. So like it's rerolling to hits, sustained hits 1, lethal hits. So my play was come out with the Hellblasters. If I could, with the Hellblasters, clear the War Dogs, and then my 2 Ballistas could kill the other War Dog that was in the way, I could go for an 8-inch rerollable charge to get into 2 more with the Captain and Deathwing, because the Captain in Terminator armor gives the Deathwing Knights a natural reroll to charge. I don't have to pay for it. And then I can give them Lance for 0 CP, because Lance is 1 CP, and the first time you target, or I guess it's any time you target the Captain, but you can only do it once. Maybe it's the first time. You don't have to, you get -1 CP on a stratagem you target his unit with. So that unit's going to wreck 2 Knights if they can make a charge. So Hellblasters do their job, Ballistas do their job, and the Captain does not do his job with a rerollable charge, which was a theme for the whole weekend. I failed a lot of charges. At one point, I failed a 5-inch charge in one game, where my opponent literally was like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna make it." And I was like, "Well, no, I gotta roll it." So I rolled a 2, and I'm like, "It's cool. I get a free reroll," and I rolled a 4. And I was like, "Oh, I should have just taken your gimme." Been like, I make it. Moral of that story is, if your opponent says, "Yeah, don't worry about it, you make it," just make it.
Yeah. Fine.
Don't actually pick up dice. So that was my round 3. My round 3 I lost. A fun game. I didn't have a single bad game. All my games were fun.
Probably most.
Even the first one where I lost the Thousand Suns. God, I don't remember the guy's name, but I walked to the table. He's like, "I know you. Have we played before?" And I was like, "No."
Like, no, I don't normally play.
He's like, "No, I know you," and I'm like, "Well, I used to wear the yellow shirt here." And he's like, "That's where I know you from." And I was like, "Cool." And he was a super nice guy, and all weekend long, whenever I saw him, we would talk about how he was doing, because he was doing way better than I was. He was 5-0 going into round 6. No, he was super nice. I liked him a lot.
Did he tell you to stop bringing down his game win percentage?
No, he didn't. He might have been thinking it though. So that was
real loud.
He was thinking real loud. So then after that, after round 1, I was like, "Cool." I even texted Natalie, because for those of you who don't know, my wife comes with me, and so she's like, "How'd it go?" And I was like, "Well, I lost," which means there's no pressure. I don't have to play Saturday night late, and I don't have to play Sunday at all. She's like, "That means you don't have to play Sunday?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Awesome." So then that night we went out to dinner, barbecue at the Palms, which, if you haven't gone to the Palms barbecue restaurant, is pretty good. And then we went back to the hotel, and I don't remember the most of that night.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's
Sounds
Friday. Good. So for us, for Danny and I, it's Danny, how was your trip out there? Because you were by yourself, right?
Yeah, it was easy. I had to do stuff around home base, and then managed to get out a lot earlier than I thought I was. And yeah, had lunch with my folks and my brother, and then drove out. It was a pretty easy drive, honestly. Got in, took a little bit to hook up with you and actually get like my key card and stuff like that, but it was fine. And then then it was the usual Thursday of just mostly hanging out.
Hey, he's a very important
having
person,
dinner,
okay?
drinking.
He's got, things to do. You can't just kowtow to your needs for getting into the room.
It's true. I forgot these things. But I knew the weekend at least logistically would go okay, because I did my usual. I get in, I gamble a little bit, and the only time I've ever won good money gambling before LVO was the year of which we do not speak its name. And I lost my money, so I was like, okay, cool, everything should be okay. At least that applied to the event.
Nice.
We'll get into that. That was because that was day 2.
That was Friday. That was Friday. Was when it started. Friday was when I was poisoned.
Yes.
It's just the effects didn't really hit me until Saturday night. Or until Saturday morning. Yeah. Friday night, technically Saturday morning. Yeah.
So we get in, we get all settled. So GW helped out with GW did the paint scoring.
Yeah.
Which made me nervous. The reason is because I don't have any control over it.
Sure.
And it seemed to be okay. A lot of people had questions.
I got paint judged by them and by Army Painter.
Right. So
it was fun. Yeah.
In addition to Army Painter having their paint competition.
Mm-hmm.
So
it was good times.
So Saturday night was paint judging, plus then they had the reveal. We went to go eat instead of staying for the reveal, I believe. Because we didn't stay. I was just like, we'll watch it later. So Friday morning rolls around, sorry. And we ended up having over 1,000 people. I think it was 1,051, 53. I have to double check.
Something like that.
But we hit the magic number of being over 1,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
I hit the button to pair. And as always, there's people that aren't paired because they didn't check in on the app.
Right,
however,
remember how many times you make that announcement? People still don't know.
However, there weren't as many as I expected, considering how many people there were.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And we were done in like maybe 15 minutes at most.
Seriously, repairing?
Well, pairing people up.
Yeah,
no, it's only round 1. We don't repair.
No, I mean like that's fine.
We just pair people up, and it was fairly quick.
It's pretty incredible. Only 15 minutes.
It didn't take very long at all, and for the most part, for day 1, it went fairly smooth.
Cool.
I did try to, if people remember earlier where I said I would punish people for taking too long. It never came up. I think because there were just so many people in the hall, we had to go through the entirety of the hall.
Mm-hmm.
It took about 20 minutes instead of the normal 15 minutes to get the pairings in anyway. So I don't think that was the fault of the players. I think it was just the amount of people.
Sure.
Amount of total players we had to go through to get all the scores. So day 1 was fairly, for me anyway, I can only speak for myself. Day 1 was fairly smooth.
Yeah.
However, in Danny's personal life, Danny, why don't you say tell us what happened with one of our fellow judges?
So, one of our fellow judges, who I've known for probably about 2 decades now, almost, was like, hey man, this guy at the vendor hall has like these organic mind clarity energy shots. Do you want one? And it was a pink color. I'm like, I don't know, man. Fruit punch smells like there's something in there I could be allergic to. I'm not giving out my weaknesses on a public channel here.
Fair enough.
And he's like, you know what? I'll go ask the guy. So he disappears, comes back. He says, yeah, it's cool. You're good. And I'm like, all right. So I start sipping on it. I'm like walking the hall sipping on it. I'm glad I didn't drink the whole thing. I drank about half and I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't like this. And apparently about 20 minutes later, the dude came running into the hall, panicked, looking for Derek to tell him that actually, yes, the ingredient I was concerned about was present. So Derek had to come find me. And so I spent basically the entire day feeling my stomach get more and more wrecked and my body get weaker and weaker, but I keep trying to power through of like, I'm just tired. I've just done 35,000 steps today, right? Like
this is fine. Everything's fine.
All I've eaten is like a shitty hot dog and like some like cashews. Like I'm fine. And so I'm definitely getting more and more tired. The day ends. We go to the TO social.
Well, it's just the general social, but
the general social. But TOs
Jake wanted us there to whatever.
Which is fine. I was mingling. I was having fun, and then in the wee hours of the morning, all of a sudden I was like, wow, I am going to explode. every part of me that can leak a fluid is about to leak a fluid, and that happened to me for about 2 hours. And then wake up and go back and do another 30,000 steps on Saturday, where I was constantly cold. Like my hands couldn't stop shaking. And
to be clear to everybody, that hall was not cold on Saturday at all in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, no. I like I said, I would pick up like something to drink, and I would have to like use 2 hands to hold a soda because like my hands could not stop shaking. And so yeah, that made Saturday a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, because I remember you not being there because you came late because of it.
Yeah, because I just physically couldn't wake up.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, the first round's almost, fourth round's almost over, and Danny's not here yet, so
No, I showed up.
Have to do a wellness check.
I was in the hall by 10:30. I was there.
Part he's not telling you is he walked over to my table with a yellow shirt in his hand, like, I think I might need you.
No, lies.
So certainly wasn't me.
No.
So no, it was Mitch. Mitch was figuring out.
Yeah.
Yellow shirt.
Oh, Mitch was?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. He's just mad at me at the prank I played on him on Sunday. He's just trying to get back at me.
Oh, me?
John.
No, I will never ever be mad about a good sea lining. I thought that was hilarious. It was the best. It was the best sea lining, and from a master sea liner, I have to give you props. That was fantastic.
So Saturday rolls around, and like Danny mentioned, Friday night we had the LVO social, which your first drink was free. So if you had a drink ticket, you got a free drink. It was over in the Masquerade area. If you were really curious, you could have gone to Kiss Arcade and gone bowling. But it was fine. We stayed up late. Like I said, Danny mentioned, he was up later than I was. And when I woke up at 2 a.m, he was not back yet. But when I woke up a little later,
you were at the bar with us, right, Danny?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was, I think, later.
That was earlier. That was earlier in the evening, yeah.
Oh.
It was... Yeah.
Yeah,
after we went to dinner, but... Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because later was up at the club.
Yeah.
And so it was fine. And then Saturday rolls around. John, why don't you talk about your Saturday before we talk about ours? I know ours was interesting.
So my first game Saturday was again against Chaos Knights. But this was against Chaos Knights I knew, because they weren't using the Grotmist detachment.
Okay.
But it was all the War Dogs possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Plus 2 units of Nurglings and a unit of Plague Bearers. Which I was like, that's like a big problem. The Plague Bearers and the Nurglings. And Natalie actually decided to do the gamer wife thing and watch this whole game.
Oh, no.
Wow.
She's never watched me play. Like, even if like you guys are over here playing or with me, she's like, she doesn't watch. Like, she is tangentially aware of what's happening, but she's not watching. So she's like, no, I'll sit and watch.
Wait, what kind of watcher is she?
She at first was taking Instagram videos of me playing and posting it on her Instagram. And then after a while, she sat there and she played her little solitaire game on her phone while she watched.
There you go. There we go.
Which I told her was very quintessential gamer wife. Like,
yes.
Be involved for a couple, like maybe the first couple turns, and then be like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Which she didn't, which is fine. So that game again came down to basically 2 failed charges. Because if you're playing 15 Deathwing Knights, you have to make some charges.
Right.
And if you're playing against a list that's, all vehicles, you have to make some charges. And I did not. It was a close game, and then but I lost. And then that game I was playing on the end of a row. So Natalie was like, she just sat on a chair. She's like, this is actually kind of nice. And like Danny walked by and said hi, and somebody else, you walked by and said hi, and Keith walked by and said hi, and so like, she knows the whole judging team at this point. And then she loves Carlos, and Carlos loves her, and so Carlos was a couple tables down, so she could check in with what's going on in his game. So then we went. My second round was against World Eaters. This is the guy who had Angron. And this, though, I was like in the exact middle of some tables. So after lunch, she was like, well, how do you know where to play? And I'm like, well, I showed her. I'm like, the app just tells me. So we went and got my stuff, walked back to the table, and she's like, oh, this isn't very comfortable. And I'm like, no, it's fine. You can go. And she's like, cool, I'm going to go gamble. So she heads off to go to the slots, and I'm playing. And right about the time... So I kill Angron immediately. I'm like, Angron has to die. I'm not giving you, like... No. And I knew this because I played a game against Danny, where Danny had Angron. And I was like, I know my squad of Deathwing Knights can kill Angron. Like, I know he can. Because they're anti-monster. 4+. And so the captain and his squad charge, because this is exactly what I did against Danny. The captain and his squad charge Angron, and they kill him. No problem. And the guy fished the whole game for 666. I felt so bad.
And you
I
didn't
never
get
got
any?
it. He didn't get it. It 666 once. And I killed Angron turn 1.
Oh, wow.
Or my turn 1, which I think was... I had bottom.
Oh, okay.
And but again... There was like, I was killing his stuff. Like, I killed his 8-bound. I killed all these things. But he had the one unit that had the Executioner in it. And it was like, I think it's just regular Berserkers, right?
Yeah.
The Berserkers with the...
Strikes first.
Yes, the Strikes first was fucking brutal.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had a dude in there with an Eviscerator. And then he had all the regular dudes. And he has the Master of Executioners. And like, I didn't have a good answer because I couldn't shoot it because he was able to get into my lines first.
Right.
Like, if I had been able to soften that unit up with the Hellblasters, no problem. Like, the Hellblasters would have wiped the unit, honestly.
Oh,
if I
yeah.
could have shot it.
Easy.
But he had positioned well enough that I couldn't. And then he was able to get in and charge, and that was that. So I spent 2 whole turns trying to kill that unit in combat, which I eventually did. But by the time I did, he had scored so many secondaries that I couldn't catch up. You know, because I couldn't get across the board to do the things I needed to do to score the secondaries to win the game. I think that at the end of that game, like, he almost had nothing left. I think he had a Rhino left, and he had a squad of Cultists left. But because I literally couldn't get to where I needed to go on the board to score my secondaries, I lost, you know. That was a great game because right about the time I realized I was going to lose because I couldn't kill this stupid unit that was striking me first.
Right.
Natalie texted me and she's like, "You won't believe this. I just won like $580 on a slot." And I was like, "Sweet, okay." So no matter what, this is great. I was like, "Cool, okay, well, all right. One thing's going well." And then my round 3 that day. My last round was Orcs. And we both walked up to the table, which was like table 500 whatever, because, you know.
The tables are ranked by then, yes.
We're at that point, it's ranked, and we're at the end. And, yeah, I literally walked up to the table, and he's like, "Hey, I'm whatever." And I was like, "I'm John." And again, I get I know you're from someplace. And I was like,
right.
"I used to wear the yellow shirt." And he's like, "That's where I know you're from." He's like, "Oh, so like you'll get all the rules right." And I was like, "Well, even if that's true, clearly it's not helpful because you and I are both 1 and 4 right now." So knowing the rules doesn't clearly matter if that is even the case.
Right.
And it was a good laugh. He was great. His army was cool. The cool thing was he was playing close enough to me the last round before that Natalie was like, "What's that army?" And it was like he had a very colorful army, but it's orcs. I'm like, "Well, that's an orc army." And she's like, "That does not look like the orc army you had," because she was thinking back to 5th edition when I had the battle wagon full of Burnaboys and like 100 boys, right?
Right.
And she's like, "That doesn't." And Gosgol was like, "Well, yeah, because orcs are very like beastly now. Like he's got all these guys on squigs and all this stuff." It's like, "Well, I like that a lot more." So that's who I played the next round, the final round. And again, it was a case of I could not get where I needed to go. I again failed multiple charges, and again, like I just couldn't score the secondaries I needed. So That game, I think I ended up losing by, I don't know, maybe like 13 points. It wasn't by a lot. It wasn't a huge loss. I don't think most of my losses were huge except for the first one. 1,000 Suns I could not handle. Could not handle. That doesn't matter what round I faced that list in. I think if I face Mortal Woundspan 1,000 Suns, I'm not winning that game.
Right, and that's basically all they play right now. Or how they play right now.
Yeah. But I had a fantastic time. I had like one of the best LVOs ever. It was a lot of fun. Every opponent was great. Going to the bar was great. The food was great. Saturday night, we hung out at the bar with like Reese and Frankie for forever.
Yes.
And you were there, Adam.
Yeah, and so.
And then, and I went and played craps, and I won back money that Natalie lost, which was great.
I thought she was up 500.
She was.
And then she went shopping.
Oh,
which is fine.
Okay.
Like that's what I don't care. Like you win money, go whatever. Like we're in Vegas and I'm playing a game. Yeah, sure, go buy yourself jeans and stuff. Whatever, it doesn't matter to me. But then she played more slots when she came back, and she lost some of what she'd won. So then I went back playing craps, which she had lost, which is fun too. Like I like playing craps. Craps is a good time. If you get to a table where the energy is good and everybody's having fun, it's a good time.
Yeah, that really is.
If you get to a table where it's like sour, you like don't even put your money down, man. Just walk away. There's no point. If the table's not having a good time, not yelling and like woo and having a great like no, don't even put your money on the table. There's no point.
Right.
Yeah. So that was my Saturday.
There you go. So for our Saturday, it started off. The start of the day should have been an indicator of how at least that first round was going to go in general. It was the complete opposite of day one because we put the pairings up and then people drop and then we got to repair everybody. So there was that mess.
Yes,
and there was a lot of them. Luckily, we were able to get through it fairly quickly. But it was still, again, with a tournament that size, everything grows at that same rate or that same size. So dealing with that, and then in the first round, I think that's when it seemed like a lot of things kind of like. I think that's when a lot of players, anyway, started to get a little more like intense, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, that's the way it goes.
In round 4.
No. I mean, for me, it's round 5 that is the worst. I feel like where the behavior gets the most.
Well, normally, yes, but
salty.
I had to actually deal with the behavior in round 4 because there are multiples of those.
Yeah.
We had at least 2 tables where I had to be like actually get involved and take care of. And then all of a sudden, for those that don't know, which I don't believe anybody doesn't know, I had to deal with the tabletop live stream because there was an incident between 2 players. One of the players, who I think is fairly new to the scene, they had played on a clock. One of the players ran out of time. The other player allowed them to take some of his time, being a nice guy, which is probably the first mistake, to be honest.
Yep. Yeah, don't do that, guys.
No, your time is your time. You don't share. Same in kindergarten.
So,
we don't share.
And so they played some more, and when the nice person ran out of time, the other player, who he was nice to, told him, "Sorry, man, you're out of time. You can't do anything anymore."
That's fuck.
That's just special, man.
So that was the whole thing. There was one of the judges that kind of witnessed it.
When you look up
what happened,
when you look up "dickhead" in the dictionary, this is the face next to the word.
About what's going on. I'm like, first of all, next time you can just go in there and just correct it.
Yes,
that's fine.
Right.
So I had them call the players over, and then I walked over, and before they could say anything, I was like, "All right, guys, nobody talk, because I know once one person starts talking, the other one's going to start. They'll just try to talk over each other."
Yeah.
So at this point, I had also learned that they had started the round 5 with under 5 minutes on each of their clocks. one had technically clocked out, and then the other one had less than 5 minutes to start round 5. So I was like, all right, everyone just listen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. We're going to roll the clock back to the end of 4, and we're just going to call it there. And I didn't know who was ahead. I didn't know what the score was, because to me, it's not. That's not the point of doing it. The point of doing it was because they played it incorrectly, especially after learning what had transpired before. So I went to this. After that, I walked away, went to the streamer, and we looked at the footage and went back to where the score was at the end of round 4, and then we scored it, and then that was the end of it, basically. But just the fact that happened, and then there were 2 other incidents that happened, not basically just going over people forgetting stuff or playing a rule wrong. But one of the other judges just wanted advice on how to take care of it. Not that he needed me to go there to take care of it, but still, all that happening at once. It seemed like round 4, because nothing like that happened in round 5 or 6. There were a couple, at least on my end, that I had to be involved. Danny, how was your day 2?
Besides, the physical things, let's see. I think it was, it was round. It was round 4. I had the first rage quit of a guy who has rage quit on us before. This is not new. He seems to do it every tournament.
Oh, that's right. I know who you're talking about, yes.
And yeah, he and his opponent had gotten into some kind of argument. He escalated it, and he basically, was talking to him, trying to calm him down. And, he basically made my argument for him, where he's like, you know what? I'm tired of this happening. Like, I spent all this money to be here. I can do whatever I want. It's my time. I'm just, I was like, so I'm just done. I'm done for the weekend. I'm done with this game. I'm gone. And I was just like, cool. That's exactly what I was going to say to you anyway. Like, it's like,
cool,
like,
bro. You do this every year. This is nothing new. Cool. Bye.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Yeah. Okay, man. Well, just make sure to drop yourself in the app. Enjoy Vegas. Thanks for being here. Moving on. Right. Like, I don't know if he expects us to be like, no, stop, come back, or not. But it was just someone who has done this before.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and now that you mention it, I remember it whole well.
Which continent are they from?
Not this one.
That's right. That's right.
Usually when someone...
But an English-speaking one.
That's right. I feel like you've learned from previous experiences, and as soon as they're like, I'm done, being like, cool, score your game.
Yeah.
You said you're done. We're done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you play like that too, John.
I don't play like that.
No, in terms of like, if they call a game, you just call it and then move on.
Absolutely.
Remember?
If I'm judging a table, someone's like...
No. If when you're playing.
Oh, when I'm playing, yes, that's what I do too. If they're like, cool, I'll call it. I'm like, cool, okay. Well, here's the score.
Yeah.
Well, no, I don't. Nope. You said you called it. We're done. We can get a judge.
Yes.
You're done.
There's the game we always talk about with at BAO.
Yeah.
2016.
Maybe one of those.
It was at the park where they had it on top of the parking lot.
Yeah, one of the parking lot ones.
Where we had to walk up 7 flights of stairs
Yes.
to get to it. We
Yes.
parked in the wrong spot.
And it was in my youth, and everybody else is winded, and I'm like, what's wrong with you guys?
Yes.
And now I'm like, oh, I don't think I could do that today.
Hey, I walked up like 29 flights of stairs, so fuck you. At New Orleans. But yeah, so usually if people want to drop, at least for us, for at least for me and us here at our group, if you're going to drop, then we're not going to ask you to stay. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I think sometimes people want us to ask them to stay for whatever reason, but no, it's okay.
Notice me, senpai. Appreciate me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's appreciate me, but so that was the end of regulation. We had the shadow round, which is the top 16 cut, and they play a 4th game for that day. This year,
I didn't make that.
Yeah,
Really?
we're well aware.
I had to double check just in case. This year, we had 2 undefeateds that essentially
Scooped.
dropped. Yeah. Last year we had one. We had a Angel 6-0 that dropped before the Shadow Round. It's better when they do it before.
Yeah, absolutely.
This time I did ask them to do it before, and they did. And then the next person below didn't want to get in that spot. So the next person after that, who was actually Don Hoosen, had already left the hall. Luckily, Ben Jurek had his number and was able to get a hold of him.
That's good.
So he came back to play his game. The really nice thing of Ben Jurek doing this was the fact that Ben Jurek was the next in line after Don.
Oh, that was nice.
So Ben didn't have to call.
Right.
Good guy, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Not if he wanted to be in top 8, but he is a good guy. He's a good friend.
He is, yeah.
And now he can always tell Don Hoosen, because Don Hoosen lost in that first round, in that Shadow Round. He can always tell him, well, if I'd been in there, I would have won. So
That's awesome.
at least that's what I would do. The Shadow Round is it's different from what it used to be, but after this weekend, I may have to return it to what it used to be. For those that don't know, we do have 3 streams going on. We have the Games Workshop stream, the War Games live stream, and the Tabletop live stream. And four of the 8 games were streamed. No, 2. Sorry, GW didn't do one. So War Games Live and Tabletop Live had their stream, and the rest of the games were just played at the normal tables. For one of the games, which I found out later, or during the game, they did not use the chess clock, even though they were supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
The World Leaders player, his opponent convinced him that they didn't need a clock, with the old adage of, I always finish my games in time.
Trust me, bro.
Trust me, bro.
That was implied, not said.
I don't know. In my narrative, it was said.
Could very well have been said.
It was said.
And so, the issue with horde armies in general is that they do have issues with time, and that became an issue in that game, especially when his opponent chose secret mission. And what we ruled is that if you choose a secret mission, you cannot score it unless you get to turn 5 or complete round 5.
And suddenly his opponent's like, "Oh man, we're out of time." Sorry, bro.
I mean, it is a 200 plus model army, so.
Oh no.
So that player that was playing, I'll say quote unquote Chaos Space Marines, because there's only 2 Chaos Space Marines in that army. I think there's a lot going on in terms of like, just, I don't know if he was slow playing, but most of the time was taken by him, and he didn't play. What I watched, it was him not playing very clean. He was like picking up models and just dumping them on the table instead of placing them like he's supposed to. Movement was kind of not bad, but it's kind of like second glance.
Was it super sloppy until he needed to make sure his opponent ran out of time?
Yes, apparently. So when I called 15 minutes, the world leader player realized he didn't have enough time because they were just starting turn 4.
Jesus.
So I don't know if they own, and because they're both like close combat armies, or at least one has a lot of shooting, one has a lot of close combat, it would have been a lot of die rolling. And we don't like the people talk it out, and the World Leaders player doesn't like to talk it out. And I can understand that. I would prefer that. So I think going forward, I just have to like enforce the clock a lot better, especially in the later rounds, in terms of whether they want it or not. They'll just have to use the clock, and I'll just card them if they don't. Especially if it's a horde player, and he refuses to use the clock. So that was the Shadow Round. Very interesting, very I mean, all the other games seem to be fine. They all kind of went to almost a time too. It's really weird. It's one of the longer shadow rounds. The Chaos Space Marine player assumed that they had all night to play. That was his reasoning for not using the clock, or one of the reasons. And I'm like, I want to get out of here. I'm not staying here all night.
Right.
And plus, it's to me, it's disingenuous to other players that finish their games in time, or maybe cut theirs short because they ran out of time. You don't get special treatment just because you're a Horde army, or just because it's a shadow round. And technically, there's no time limit because there's nothing going on afterwards. But I want to get out of there. Things that oh man, it was weird. So I did talk to the Chaos Space Marine player about the army, about his play, and what we'll do going forward. So we'll see from there. But that was day 2, and just so everyone knows, in the top 16 that actually played, it was 1 Death Watch, 1 Blood Angel, 1 Gene Stealer Cult, 2 Chaos Space Marine armies, 3 Death Guard armies, Thousand Suns, looks like 2 Space Marine armies, and then World Eaters and Tyranids. A bit surprised about the Andrew Card, sorry. And a bit surprised about how much Death Guard there was that high.
Death Guard's just solid, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just tough bastards.
Just solid.
And the 2 undefeateds that had to drop was Tau and Chaos Demons.
No, thank God Tau dropped, because nobody likes Tau.
Somebody does.
Nope.
No.
Miserable people play Tau.
Oh, wow. So...
When Jeff plays Tau, he's miserable. What do you want?
So Sunday... So Saturday night... I think we just went to bed, didn't we, Danny?
I did.
Right
you
did, because I let you go early.
Yeah, because I was...
Because you look like shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Sunday night you hung out with us, Adam.
Yes.
That's the night I'm thinking about where I won the money of playing craps.
Yes, because everything's a blur.
Everything's very much a blur. I had no responsibilities.
No, I think we did hang out
Saturday. You came by Saturday, too.
Was it Saturday?
At some point, you came by
Maybe.
Saturday, yeah.
But, well, the round didn't finish until like 11:15, 11:30, so...
Yeah, and that's when you were like, where are you? And I told you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you came by. But you didn't stay very long.
No, I had to make sure Danny was alive.
He was. It was fine.
You know what, Danny? I will give you this for this weekend. Everything was clean.
Yeah, you didn't have to clean up after me at any point.
No.
He didn't pee on the air conditioner?
No,
I've never done that, thank you.
No, he's never
I
done
was not
that.
implying... I'm sorry if that sounded like I was implying Danny had done that. Danny has not done that. But that is a horror story.
What he does is miss the toilet when he vomits.
Look, it happens to the best of us, all right?
It does every now and then, yeah.
I actually think this is my driest LVO in the sense of how much alcohol I consumed over the course of the weekend.
When you've been poisoned.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you've been poisoned, it doesn't...
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed I didn't know there was the tattoo place.
Oh.
Because I would have brought money for a tattoo. That'd have been fun. That'd be an experience. Why not? They have really cool designs. Like, they were very unique. I don't know if you guys checked out the designs. The designs are unique.
I think Goat Boy got one.
Yeah, he did. Like, and I at this point in my life, I'm like, if I'm going to get another tattoo, it better be, like, very unique. Because I've got the ones that I wanted.
Right.
Like, and the other ones that I wanted at one point, I definitely don't want anymore.
You don't want thug life across your chest?
Well, I never wanted that one. I did want no regrets, though. But
yeah, you don't want no regrets?
No. You know, the key was I waited till I was well into my 20s before I got my first tattoo. And so a lot of those bad ideas that I had gotten out of my system. I was like, I don't want those anymore. But there were some really cool ones. That would have been great. I did buy dice at the Baron of Dice. I really like Baron of Dice. So
yeah, they're good.
dice to match the Dark Eldar, because the Dark Eldar army is technically Edwin's.
Oh, okay.
You mean the Dark Angels?
Dark Angels, sorry. Dark Angels are technically Edwin's. I bought them for him. I ended up painting them all, because he doesn't like painting. So I bought him Deathwing dice, are like the small ones, and then I bought the Dark Angel ones, they're big ones. And so I brought him to him. He's like, "Oh, these are awesome!" And I was like, "He's like, well, I already have Dark Angel dice." So I was like, "Yeah, but they're the GW ones. Those ones suck." I bought you good dice.
Going into day 3. Day 3, the only big issue we had was the Genestealer Cult Chaos Space Marine issue, where the Genestealer Cult player was a little loose. Again, a Horde army, a little loose with their movement.
Yeah, imagine that.
A couple other things.
Why I never.
Shocking.
I did have to talk to the judge that was assigned to that table, because they were a little, I don't want to say gun shy, apprehensive about like interjecting during the game if not called on. So I had to remind them, like, no, if it's active judging, so if you see something wrong, correct it without being asked.
Mm-hmm.
So that's for the future. And again, there's always plenty of stuff on Reddit about it, so have at it if you really want to talk about it.
Hold on real quick. Is there a new Wraith Lord model?
I don't think so.
A Wraith Lord?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Because I'm looking at this picture from Warhammer 40k's like actual site, and the Wraith Lord's like holding the sword two-handed.
Yeah, I think they updated it like a couple years ago.
Okay. Keep going. Sorry.
Are you done with the tangent?
I'm done with my interjection.
There we go.
I'm going to send this picture to the chat though, because
just to make sure.
I'm not convinced.
All right, very good. So, by the end of Sunday, and even Sunday was busy because we had Long War Devils going on. We had I think it was like 11 or 12 pods of the RTT going on. And we had Gabriel, someone from Sweden. He had flown out to help out. And I was like, all right, we'll go ahead and do the RTTs. And he started off okay. The problem was he focused too much on pod 1. So all the other pods couldn't get started. So I had Jorge and I had to help out and get the other pods going. Once he got the rhythm going, then it was just boom, boom, boom to get them started. But by the end of the day, Mark Hurdle had won with Death Watch, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, that was definitely not on my bingo.
That's very cool.
Well, when you can take 3 Cyclone missile launchers in a Terminator squad, it kind of helps.
I mean, I'm happy about it. I enjoyed seeing something totally new and unexpected win.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always nice.
And it was him and Ben Neal with Space Marines in the finals. And then third place was Jack Harpster, Blood Angels, who had lost to Mark.
Right. Jack's a good guy. It'd have been cool if he'd won for a second time.
Yeah.
But, we can't win them all.
And then Josh Roberts won the ITC.
He won what?
The ITC overall.
Right.
So, and then we had, my brother and I celebrated, as we always do. Danny had to leave a little early.
Yeah, just a little bit into the final round.
Yeah. And then,
Sunday night was also a blur.
Yes,
that's right. That was the night you and John came back.
Yes.
You guys came back. Because Natalie and I ended up not going and meeting Stephen Box at MGM. And we ended up not going with Jeff and Carlos to dinner. And we ended up staying at the bar with Reese and Frankie again and those guys. And James Carmona and not eating dinner.
Perfect. Alcohol's the best dinner.
And then you and John came and joined us for a bit. And Adam Abramowitz. We hung out with Abramowitz and the Army Painter guys for forever, too.
And Natalie. And the other Natalie.
Hill.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah, because my brother and I celebrated by going to the Korean barbecue place.
Yes.
On Sunday. And then we met with you guys. And Jake and Reese. Well, by that time, I guess Frankie had already left, I think.
Yeah.
And James had left because it was just Adam, Reese, and then Reese had left.
Yeah, Reese left quickly.
His wife was still there.
She hung out with Natalie for a while. My Natalie.
And then yeah, I went to bed at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it was a late night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, LVO.
We all left at the same time, right?
Huh?
We all left at the same time, right? You, me, and
I left before you guys.
Did you really? Damn.
Yeah.
That's why our goal was to like be on the road at 9 a.m. on Monday, and we did not get on the road till like.
I wonder why we left at like
11:30. Yeah.
Shocking. I'm shocked here.
It was no big deal.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But so now the circuit starts all over again. I go to Cherokee in like 3 weeks. So.
Yikes.
Have fun. Although Cherokee looks really pretty, I'd love to do Cherokee one of these years.
Except for
Me too.
Except for having to get there, it's probably my favorite one out of all. Even yeah, it's probably my favorite one. It's very nice. It's just because it's a 3-hour drive from Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's a pain in the ass to get there. But people enjoy it.
I want to do Rocky Mountain one year.
Rocky Mountain's nice.
I love Colorado. Colorado is one of my favorite states.
The location is about an hour from the airport. It's only like an hour. It's like an hour and a half flight.
I'm
something like that. So
it would still be fun.
Yeah, so just getting ready. If you have been watching the channel or in the Frontline Facebook group, the community group, we did announce that we're doing a Judge Mentor Program. Essentially what it is just a place for people who want to judge or already judge just to gather and converse and just share tricks and tips and how to get started. And it's not just focused on 40K, it's any game system. And so there'll be a link in the show notes to the Google form if you're interested. And it's just a Discord, really. The selfish reason for it is for me to also get people to help with the events that I may not know about. Because the only way I can get people to help is if they tell me.
Right.
Or if someone recommends somebody. So and even if you've never judged before, like Natalie. I talked to Natalie about it. She's interested in judging this coming year because she got her painting goal. She hit her painting goal this year, so she wants
not my Natalie.
Yeah, Natalie Hill, right?
Oh, no, not Utah Natalie.
Yeah, not
John's Natalie. After watching John play, she's out.
Yeah,
she would make a really good judge though.
So
she wouldn't want to learn the rules, but she'd make a good judge.
Yeah, so like the best way I describe it is like a guild, like a medieval guild where there's basically a master apprentice, so you can learn under somebody more or less. In this case, it would just be the whole group.
Or like being a plumber,
I guess. But my version sounds more in keeping with what we play, so it probably resonates more. But so even if you've never judged before, but you want to give it a try or see what it's like, or talk to people that have done it in different areas, then it's free to join. You don't even have to like pass a test or anything. It's not like magic.
What?
It's really just to build a community of judges as opposed.
But what
to
if we want it to be like magic?
Well, if you want to show your butt crack during your games, that's on you, John.
I want people to go around and take pictures of the terrible markings on the chairs.
You want people to go around and drop quarters?
Drop quarters
or
too.
pencils.
Yes. And they get banned.
So, yeah. So that's, again, the Google form will be in the show notes. Just click on that form, fill it out, and I'll get back to you. with the Discord link. And then you just go from there. I'm always looking for help. You are compensated, so at least as a 40K judge, I can't speak for the other game systems. That's something to work out once you're in and helping. But you're not even required to help. If you just want to learn, that's fine too. It's almost like how ITC used to be, where it was kind of like do whatever you want. This one is just kind of like there's no obligations for anything. So if you just want to learn, that's all you need to. If you want to learn, or if you want to impart your wisdom upon others, then go ahead and join. There's always looking for both. But that was the weekend. John, are you going to retire now, or
No, I'm going to play again next year.
Any other tournaments?
I might try to make BAO work because schedule-wise it might work, but I also started a master's program, so we'll have to see how that goes too.
That might slow you down a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the workload's like yet for that, so we'll just have to see.
All right.
But we do have a almost fully painted Eldar army that's ready to go, so we just had to add some stuff. So
I think we're missing certain models.
We're missing some of the new stuff coming out. But again, you don't buy models until the first fuck you from GW comes out.
Yeah, let's see how that goes.
No, I'm pretty sure we're going to want that Warp Spider Phoenix Lord either way.
Yeah, because they're not going to change the rules. They might just change the
that rules. And probably some more Guardians. I do like the Guardian
We need
leak
Guardians
that we've seen. Yeah, the Guardians leak seems pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think we had some, or we did. I don't know. I know we had Dire Avengers. I got to get over to Tom's and get the army and do that inventory.
We need more of everything. Let's just put it that way.
Cool. Well, no, we do not need any more Wraith Blades. We have 15 Wraith Blades. We definitely don't need more of those.
We need more of everything.
We have 2 Wraith Knights. We don't need more of those. 3 Wraith Lords.
Danny?
Yeah.
What are your plans? What's your plan? You know what? This is the first talk of the new year, John. No, just the Eldar army you're going to build for the new year.
Yeah, I can't even begin to think of any other goals beyond just like, hey, I'll build out whatever else we need for the Eldar army and maybe play it if I can.
Danny?
I think I'm going to set my goals high and try and finish completely painting my World Eater since their book is coming out in the foreseeable future. That's right. We learned that at LVO.
You're going to try to finish that white?
Yep. And just got to, finish up all the little things I have for that. And then I was going to try and finish one of my AOS armies, like my Iron Jaws.
Nice.
Yeah, just because I haven't been painting much the last year. I've just been really busy with work. And, usually when it's, like, I don't know, the whole process of, like, getting all the paint supplies out and blah, blah, blah. But it's more work.
It is a process, bro.
Yeah, so I'm like, but I need to get back. I need to get back to it because I haven't really, like I said, been consistently painting. So it'd be good to get back into it.
Yeah.
What about you, Adam?
On my plate. I have to take care of that. I can't really talk about until it's actually done. I want to. I have to get something done within 3 weeks, and hopefully it works out.
It'll work out.
It'll get done.
I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket and say something and jinx it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Totally understand that.
But yeah, so there's that. I have everything for my chaos. I don't think I'll probably build the guard army, but it's going to be all tanks, so I don't have to paint that many models.
Tanks are cool. Everybody likes
cool.
Everybody likes tanks.
I think I have most of the tanks I need. I just got to get them out of storage. But we'll see. Stay tuned for further news if things come to pass that are supposed to. But I think that's it for tonight. We could talk about Emperor's Children, all that other stuff they showed, but the roadmap. It looks like they're putting out all the cult books.
Yeah.
World Eaters, Death Guard, Thousand Suns, Emperor's Children, all around the same time, hopefully. Emperor's Children's first, after Guard, I think it is. So the Guard book should be out soon. If people are wondering, it looks like, because it's a 2-week window, pre-order window, that Eldar, pre-FAQ Eldar, will be good to go for Cherokee.
Ooh.
Nice. Pre-FAQ.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
So Eldar wins Cherokee. Calling it now.
Oh my god. Okay, Necron guy.
Necron guy. I'm not even
this
Necron.
guy.
What are you talking about?
So yeah. So I hope to finish the project we've been working on for what, almost 5 years now. Now that I think
Not
about
quite
it,
that
get depressed
long.
about it.
Oh god, it has been about that long. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Yes, because we started it, or I started it during COVID,
Right.
or close to like the end of COVID, I think.
Jesus. All right. Yeah.
And then
Okay.
there's been
Fair.
a few
Fair.
hiccups. So
We old, Danny.
Yep. Oh, I know.
what are you talking about?
You've always been old, so you don't feel it.
I have an old soul. Yes.
No,
Tell you
you've
what,
always been
that's how I'm
actually
stuck.
old.
So a bit of a break for me. Well, actually, no. I have to referee this weekend. So
Yeah.
soccer referee, and it's supposed to rain. So I'm sure it'll be fine. But I think that's it for this week. We'll be back in a couple weeks to discuss more stuff. Danny, any pearls of wisdom after a full weekend of judging the largest tournament in the world?
It was a great time. It was a great time to see so many people, and for over 1,000 people playing, it went damn near as good as you could ever hope. So, congratulations, everyone! Like, that was just such an accomplishment. And yeah, I'm never, ever, 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 ever eating or drinking anything Derek gives me ever again.
This
I
is
was
fair.
going to say, congratulations on surviving Derek's murder attempt.
Yeah.
This is fair. It's a good advice, I think, in general.
Yeah.
He really wants to be in charge of paint judging.
I guess. Well, you can talk to GW about that, not me.
Well, he poisoned the wrong
we'll see if
people
we do
then.
that.
He shouldn't be poisoning poor Danny. He didn't
Yeah,
have nothing to do with that. He had nothing to do with that
Yeah.
decision. My God.
Well, we'll be using the rubric Danny's going to come up with for Cherokee. So
Cool. Is Derek going to that?
no,
Well, then I don't know what the problem is. Why is he trying to kill Danny?
he almost killed Danny.
It's not okay.
Not okay.
I mean, to be fair, I get it.
Look, I'm just saying, nobody tried to kill Danny when I was head judge.
That you know of.
Well, that's fine.
Well,
You know,
the
failed
deserts
attempts
of-
that nobody knows about don't matter.
Yeah. The deserts of Las Vegas hold many secrets.
Ooh, this is getting dark real fast at the end.
John,
Yeah.
any pearls of wisdom as someone that went 1-5?
Yeah, it's possible to win only one game and have, like, one of the best weekends ever.
There you go.
It was fantastic. Wouldn't trade it for anything.
John, the lovable loser.
Whatever. I don't care. I had a great time. I will suffer being the butt of all the jokes in the Discord all year. I don't care. It's fun.
Oh, that's fine. We will. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Until the next time you go to a tournament, and maybe Tom is there to compare.
What do you mean? I won 1-5 and I still did better than Danny did at the Champs Cup.
Sure did.
Jesus! Wow! Wow!
So I don't know why.
Took him while
I
he's
don't know why.
down.
I don't know why. I don't know why we gotta get Tom involved.
Wow! All right. Well, we're starting
Although,
off the year right.
so somebody else made that point to me at LVO when I was done, and they were like, "Well, at least you did better than Danny at Champs Cup." And I was like, "Yeah, but Danny was supposed to lose all of his games." His list was literally designed to be thrown to the wolves. Here, you're going to play the hardest list possible. Please score as many points as you can.
You're right. Sounds about right.
So, to be fair, Danny was supposed to lose all those games.
Yes. Any other pearls of wisdom, John? That it? Just enjoy
No.
yourself.
You can go 1-5 and still have a fantastic weekend. Yeah, don't drop. Just play your games.
Listen, if someone wants to drop, they can drop because they want to enjoy Vegas. I can understand dropping.
I had all Sunday to enjoy Vegas. It was fantastic. Natalie and I went to the Strip. We walked around the Strip. We did all that. We did the Cosmo. We did Caesars. I love Caesars. We found a speakeasy in the Caesars we didn't know about. It was great. I had caviar. Like, what? What do you want? Like, Sunday was fantastic. I had all of Sunday. If you already know you're not making top 8, whatever.
Yep.
You have all your Sunday.
Yeah.
Natalie went off to get a head massage thing Sunday morning. I got to watch the whole first football game in the sports book.
There
Nice.
we go.
It was great.
And you
I got to
purposely
watch.
avoided my wife.
I got to watch the Rams screw over LA when we needed the most. Thanks, guys. We really could have used the win, guys. But no, you couldn't deliver.
That's what happens when you play cold climate.
So Matthew Stafford needs to retire. He actually didn't play that bad. I shouldn't say that. That's mean. He shouldn't play that bad. What they need to do is all playoff games should have to be indoor now that we have this ridiculous climate. Like, as long as we're going to keep having all these crazy, what are they called? When the super cold air comes down and freezes Texas and Florida, bomb cyclones or whatever. As long as we're going to keep having those every single year, they need to put all playoff games in a dome.
Well, I'm pretty sure climate change will fix that, so it's always hot all the time, so it'll be fine.
No, that's the problem. It's not that it's all hot all the time. It becomes more extreme. The climate's become more extreme. Oh my God, dude. Oh, I hate you so much.
If this is the 90s, the climate's being extreme would be fine.
No, in the 90s, it was called global warming.
No, because the 90s were all about being extreme.
No. They really weren't. The 90s were about as being as PC as possible. Like, listen to music from the mid-90s.
Oh my God.
Everything after Nirvana. Everything after Cobain wrapped his mouth around a shotgun barrel was very, very PC.
I would like to bring up, this is the 90s, is also Korn and Limp Bizkit.
No, that is early 2000s. That's early 2000s.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Yes. The Woodstock, where everything went to crap, was 02? 01? It wasn't the 99 one.
The Woodstock?
Yeah.
The shitty one?
Maybe it was the 99 one. Was it 99?
Like
the very end of the 90s where everything went terrible?
Their debut album is 94, dude. Life is Peachy is 96. Follow the Leader is 98.
Okay, but Korn sucks. We can't use Korn. We cannot use Korn as the gauge because, like, what was on the radio that was super PC was stuff like Oasis and Third Eye Blind and, like, Green Day's Dookie album. And, like,
well, I didn't listen to those stations, so.
Mm-hmm. And also, this is Eminem.
Oh,
Slim Shady is 97, so, okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's
saying.
the best.
I'm just saying.
That's the best. That's the best. 99 Woodstock was the one where everything went crazy.
Yeah.
So the very end of the 90s was not PC. But, like, you know, if you're talking about the decade where we got, like, the freaking Cranberries.
You mean the Cranberries singing about the English troubles? Or the Irish troubles?
But it sounded so nice. Well, and, like, Third Eye Blind singing about drugs, but it's, like, one of the happiest sounding songs ever.
It was just a pop. It was just a pop.
Blink-182, all the small things. Like, NSYNC. Like, it was a lot of very PC stuff that was the super popular stuff.
I don't know if it was PC. It was just pop. Right? Like...
Which is PC.
Yeah. Yeah, and welcome to our music podcast. Our music and culture podcast.
We'll have to cut this part off and spin it to a...
Oh, Danny, do you want to do karaoke on Sunday?
I can't. I'm locked down on Sunday.
Oh, boo.
Yeah,
okay, fine.
Otherwise,
Right,
yes.
well, on that non-karaoke note, I think we'll call it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe. And again, if you're interested in being a judge or just learning about being a judge or talking to other people that are judges.
Or music.
Don't forget to fill out the Google form, and we'll get you settled on Discord. But thanks, everybody, for listening. Good night, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Laters.
Bye.